Hello everyone and welcome to the first ever video on this channel. I'm so excited to finally be posting a video, and today I'm going to be talking about the 2020 NHL draft, more specifically the 2020 mock draft. I'm just super excited to finally be posting. I hope you really enjoy this mock draft. This is Talking About Sports 1. Okay, so for the first overall pick, I have the New York Rangers selecting Alexis Lafreniere, the left winger out of Rimouski, out of the QMJHL. Now, where to start with Lafreniere? He is just a stunning player, phenomenal, one of the best we have seen in recent drafts. 112 points in 52 games with Rimouski this year. His puck skills are at the top of the draft, rivaling Tim Stützle. His shot is at the top of the draft, rivaling Alexander Holtz, and his smarts are rivaling Cole Perfetti. So he is up near the top of the draft in every category. He is just an amazing player, and I don't know what to say about him. It's hard to put in words how good Alexis Lafreniere really was for Rimouski. 2-time CHL Player of the Year, and honestly, if I had to compare him to anyone in the NHL right now, I would say maybe at his prime, maybe like a less productive Sidney Crosby type, because I see that defensive nuance there. I see the total package, and I feel like Sidney Crosby is like maybe not as good as Crosby, but somewhere around there is a good comp for Lafreniere, because I believe that he's going to be generational talent in this draft. So for the second pick in the 2020 NHL entry draft, if I was selecting, the Los Angeles Kings would select Quinton Byfield, a center from Sudbury in the OHL. Byfield is a phenomenal guy who his ceiling is just so super high, higher than anyone else in the draft, maybe aside from Lafreniere. And the thing about Byfield is that he is 6'4" and he plays like it. He plays the body, he's hard to knock off the puck, he's physical, but there's another side to his game, and that's the more finesse side. He likes to lean toward dekes, and his skating is really, really good, especially for a guy who's 6'4". His shot is also what you'd expect from a guy that big and a top prospect. Now, the one thing about Byfield is that this season in the OHL with Sudbury, he only had 82 points, which is still quite a bit, especially for one of the guys on the younger end of the draft. But it's not as much as Lafreniere, Perfetti, or Rossi. That being said, Byfield's extremely high ceiling, great size, and excellent skating makes me put him at number 2 in this mock draft. So, for the third overall pick in my mock draft, I have the Ottawa Senators selecting Tim Stützle, a left wing / center out of Germany in the DEL. The big reason that Stützle is this high is because of his polished game and puck skills. Tim Stützle is completely ready to make the transition to the NHL, and aside from Lafreniere, I think he's the most ready in this draft. Now, his puck skills. I believe that they are top of the draft. He is just extremely silky smooth, extremely slick, and I believe that Stützle can become a puck-handling phenom. And Stützle this season with Mannheim, which is a men's league, had 34 points in 41 games, which might not be the point per game that Rossi or Lafreniere or Byfield will be putting up, but it is extremely impressive for someone his age to be putting up in a men's league. I believe that Tim Stützle can honestly become an amazing player, but it's just that I don't think the all-around game will be there quite like Quinton Byfield's. That, and because his ceiling is significantly lower, is why I have him at number 3 and not 2. So, coming up for the fourth pick in my 2020 NHL mock draft, I have the Detroit Red Wings selecting Jamie Drysdale, the defenseman out of Erie in the OHL. Now, Jamie Drysdale, a big reason why I have him up here is because he is the top defenseman in the draft, far and away. And I think the Detroit Red Wings really need this. They have Moritz Seider, Hronek, but other than that, there's not much there. And Jamie Drysdale, I believe in his prime, he can be a rock on the power play, penalty kill, or any even strength unit. And with Detroit, that would be really, really helpful for their future success. Drysdale was quite productive with Erie this year, and the reason you're buying in on him, if you're Detroit or any other team, is because his great offensive production. He's a great puck-moving defenseman, like Quinn Hughes, Miro Heiskanen, moving the puck up ice, but his defensive ability is there too. Drysdale is just a great all-around defenseman, and I feel like he can really succeed at the next level, given a few years. I'm very excited to see Drysdale on the Detroit Red Wings. So here's a bit of a controversial one, but I have Alexander Holtz out of Sweden coming in at the 5th spot in the mock draft. This would be the Senators' pick. Alexander Holtz is a guy that tumbled down many people's draft boards throughout the season because his play wasn't all up to par in Sweden. He had 9 goals and 7 assists for 16 points in 30-plus games in that league. And people might have thought, okay, this isn't great, but it is a men's league, and Alexander Holtz is a very raw prospect. The reason you're buying on Alexander Holtz, if you're the Senators, the Ducks, the Devils, whoever it is because of his shot. His shot is world class, in my opinion. No doubt the top of the draft. I'm very excited to see what this guy can do in the NHL with his shot. For me personally, in the future, I could see him being a number 1, number 2, and number 3 prospect in the entire league if given a few years. I think then his production will rise and it will shine through just how good this guy is. He is undoubtedly the best pure goal scorer in the draft and maybe the best pure goal scorer in a few drafts. I'm hyped to see this kid. Okay, so now moving on to the top 5 for the 6th overall pick in my mock draft. I think the Anaheim Ducks will select Marco Rossi, the small but talented center of the Ottawa 67s in the OHL. Marco Rossi was extremely dominant this year. He had 120 points in the OHL, which was 8 more than Lafreniere, mind you, in a few more games. But it's still crazy impressive that Rossi could just perform this well. That being said, he did have Jack Quinn, who was another top prospect, putting the puck home, scoring goals with him. I don't think that should take away too much. I think, honestly, Quinn benefited more than Rossi did. But I still believe that it might take away one spot. It might, slaughter down one spot from this draft. Marco Rossi is also quite small, but I don't think that should hold him back at the next level. We've seen guys like Cole Caulfield, Alex DeBrincat completely and utterly overcome that. The big thing with Marco Rossi here is his production. The only reason I have him outside the top 5 is that his skill is phenomenal. I just don't see the amount of skill in him as I do in some other prospects in this draft. So through process of elimination of some of the top prospects here, you probably know that at number 7 here, this is going to be the Swedish winger, Lucas Raymond. He was one of the top prospects at the beginning of this season. He was top 3 even in some people's boards. It was him, Byfield, and Lafreniere. But this season, in a Swedish men's league like Holtz, he struggled, not mightily, but he struggled. And this honestly made him tumble, and he tumbles for me. I only put him 2 spots lower than Holtz because I feel like Holtz's shot and his skill can really impact at the next level. Speaking of the next level, Lucas Raymond, I think, is completely ready for that. Other than, I'd say, probably Stutzla and Lafreniere, I think he is the most ready to jump to the NHL. So, overall, I think Lucas Raymond is great. Just number 7 in the draft. So, at the 8th pick in my 2020 mock draft, it is the Buffalo Sabres, the struggling Buffalo Sabres, and I feel like they need an impact player here. So, honestly, if this was a real draft, I think they would believe that this is a gift, because Cole Perfetti at number 8 is a great steal. Cole Perfetti this year in the OHL dominated. He was like Rossi and Lafreniere, put up points, which, is completely great. The thing with Perfetti is he has one defining trait that is absolutely amazing. And like Holtz's shot, it is his smarts. Some other parts of his game, like his skating, it might be lacking a little bit, but his smarts, honestly, I feel like it's one of the most important tools to have in your toolbox. And I think that Perfetti just excels at this so much that, like Holtz with his shot, I think it can carry him in the next level. That's Cole Perfetti. So with the 9th pick in my 2020 mock draft, it is the Minnesota Wild. They have Kirill Kaprizov on the way, who I think is going to be a Calder Trophy candidate. But enough of that. With the 9th pick, I have them selecting Yaroslav Askarov. He's a Russian goalie, and he is a phenom. This guy is a franchise talent. They're saying he's the best goalie prospect since Carey Price. He was in the 2005 draft, so that's 15 years ago. And Yaroslav Askarov is just breaking that mold of goalies can't go top 10. He is just absolutely amazing. Now, he didn't have a great performance at the World Juniors, but in a Russian men's league, he dominated. He performed. And this is a guy that you're going to see on the highlight reel every single day. Yaroslav Askarov is an amazing goalie, one of the best since Carey Price. But, of course, any team that would be selecting him will be taking a flyer on him. The Wild, they have Kaapo Kähkönen, but I'm not sure if he can really become an elite-level starter in the NHL. But I strongly believe that Yaroslav Askarov can. Okay, so we have reached the last pick in the mock draft, the 10th pick, and it belongs to the Winnipeg Jets. Now, I do not have them selecting Jake Sanderson because I don't think Jake Sanderson is worth anywhere near a top 10 pick. Near a top 10 pick, but I don't think he's worth a top 10 pick. If you're selecting him only because he's a defenseman, I feel like that's kind of a waste. But this guy, Anton Lundell, he can provide defense for sure. This guy, he has Selke winning potential, no doubt. I think he will win a Selke one day. If you came from the future, 2040 or whatever, and told me Lundell never won a Selke, I would be shocked. This guy is just such a great defensive forward, and his two-way game is phenomenal too. I think that if the Winnipeg Jets can take Lundell and plug him in second, third, fourth line, and have him just, be that defensive anchor in a few years, I think that would be super duper valuable to their team. I think he makes the people around him better with his stalwart defensive play. He's also quite adept on offense too. He's, a great playmaker, good enough scorer. So I like Lundell, and he's my 10th pick. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and thanks for making it to this part of the video. If you're new, please hit like and subscribe. I plan to post maybe 2 or 3 times every week, and hockey, basketball, and baseball content. Bye.